Hey everybody, Bill here, Blitzmo and Fab. Hey, if you could, like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely could use the subscribers. I hope the videos are informative that I'm doing. I try not to be boring. I was told I talk too much, and that's not like the first time I've ever heard that in my life. So anyway, what I'm doing today is I'm starting off. I have a J&L oil separator, and this is the 3.0, and I'm going to go ahead and install it on my 2023 Mustang. And so this is the driver's side unit that I bought. They do have a passenger side mount unit, but that's not the one I went with. So anywho, that's what I'm doing, just getting started, looking at what I need to do. I have the mounting bracket here that mounts right onto the shock tower, and then the two screws just go in here, and this mounts like this. So they give you a bolt and a nut for this, and this is, I don't know, it says it's a metric head, but it's got 1/4 threads. So what I did on my car is I went ahead and came over here. Right here on the shock tower is where they tell you to bolt the bracket. That's where the bracket sits out. The unit's going to sit right here. So there's a bunch of room in here. So it makes it easier to route the hoses. The hoses are down underneath. This is the intake manifold, and both hoses are under the intake. There's one that's way underneath the bottom, and then there's one that's right there where you can see that white clip. That's the other end of that hose. It's only about 8 or 10 inches long. The other end is down underneath the intake manifold right about over here. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to the bottom one. You almost have to go from underneath and reach up under there, because you have to just pull that plastic clip out, and what it'll do is it'll let you take the hose off. So anyhow, I'm getting started on this, but like I said, what I did is instead of using the bolt and the nut, I put a riv nut right in here. So I think I've talked about it in some of my videos before, and these are riv nuts. So what you can do, this is a little kit that I bought. Sorry about that. Little kit. I just wanted to open it up so you can see it a little bit better. It's just a little plastic box that I bought, and I bought a bunch of extra riv nuts online on Amazon, and I just labeled them, you know, to what size these are. And these are all the standard size, the American standard sizes. And also the kit that I bought, this is the riv nut kit. It comes with a bunch of different metrics and things like that. I don't know why I don't just take these out of here and put them in a bag or in a box somewhere, because I really don't use them. But this is the heart of the kit right here, and what you do is you gotta find I don't know where my 1/4 is. 10/24, 3/8. I don't know where the 1/4 box is. Right here. So this is the 1/4 box, and what it is it's this piece right here that your nut screws onto. So then you just drill your hole big enough to get your nut cert. Here's a 1/4, just big enough to get your nut cert in there. And then what you do is you just take this tool and you just screw your nut cert onto this, right onto this end, and then you just spread these arms out like this, screw this thing on tight, and then you stick the nut cert into your hole, and then you go ahead and take these handles and squeeze them together. And what this does is it squeezes down on this, and it acts just like a rivet. Right in here, it'll roll it over, and it just creates a nut, like a blind nut. So that way there, once you do that, then what you end up with is you end up with something that looks like that, and it's flush, and then it's squeezed underneath here. So it's a lot easier, because what I can do is I can take my bracket and I can set my bracket in here and just put my bolt in here. Okay, I'm back. So all I did was I took a little pick, one of these little picks, and kind of put it underneath the back edge of this clip. If you can see that clip in there, I put it under the back edge of this clip, and then I just took a little screwdriver and I put a little screwdriver under this side of the clip, and the clip popped right up. See how that clips up? Okay, so from there the hose will come off. So this is the easy end. So once I've got this hose loose over here, then I'm gonna have to jack the car up, and I'm gonna have to go underneath, and I'm gonna have to take the other end of this hose off. And like I said, this hose is a short hose, and I've got a jack and a jack stand, so I'm just gonna jack it up. I was gonna put it up on the car lift, and then I thought, you know what, really, to try to get my car off the car lift and drive this one up on there and everything for this job, this is probably not something I want to do. So I'm going to jack this thing up, put a jack stand under it so that I can get underneath and come up underneath, because the other side of that hose is about 8 inches over, and there's a clamp that goes into the block. So what it does is pressure from the block comes out and goes into the intake and gets sucked back into the intake. So that's what it is. It's just pressure control in your block. If there's any pressure that builds up in the block, then that's how it's taken care of, so that you don't blow out seals and oil seals and have other problems like that. So I'm gonna get this thing set up and I'll be back. Okay, I got it off. So I'll get under the car and I'll show you where the other end is. This is the end here that I showed you earlier. And so when it's in the engine, the one end that I showed you earlier is attached right here. The other end is attached off of a fitting off the block underneath this, and this is the intake manifold. So this is what the clips look like. So all I did is I went underneath right here, and if I snap this clip back in, I can kind of show you if I can snap it in with one hand. Okay, so you snap these clips back in, and then when you're underneath the car, it's facing this way, of course, but this is what you see. So all I did was took a little pick and stuck a little pick here and here and just kind of pushed on them, and what it does is it just releases those clips. Sorry about the crappy video, I'm trying to do this with one hand, but I will get up underneath the car and I'll show you where this other end attaches. Give me a minute to wiggle under there and get the camera set up. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back up under here. Like I said, this is the steering shaft. This is the starter. It's, you know, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get to, but try to keep my light on it here if I can. See that little blue thing sticking out there? That is where this thing attaches, right here. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, don't get me wrong, to stick the pick up in there on both sides of that and to get it, but then once you do, it just pulls right off. It's just like the little clip and an O-ring, and that's your fitting. And then the new ones just push right on and lock. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and go back up top, and I'm gonna get the oil separator, and I'm gonna bolt it in and drop the hoses down in here somewhere in the neighborhood of where they go, and take a look and see if I can't get them hooked up, snap them back in. That's the easy part. Tough part is getting them off, getting these clips to come loose and kind of reaching your hand all the way up in there. That's kind of the toughest part, this clip right here. But to put it back on, like I said, you just push the hose right on and they'll snap lock and lock into place. So I'll be back. Okay, so I just brought this thing over here. I bolted it in. I actually cut a little bit off of this. The way they had this set was this was on the end. So what it did is it raised this thing up and brought it out further, and it kind of sat way over here. I didn't really like where it sat, so what I did is I just cut this off just right here on this edge, just straight across, and then I just drilled a hole in here. And so what this did is it just moved it in just a little bit and down. So I took the hose, and if you can see, I just threw it in down here, and I just threw this one down here this way. So I'm going to start looking at what the best way to kind of route those around. This front one, it's got to come kind of down underneath here somewhere, and it's got to get right there to that piece. So I'm going to look at probably coming up around right through here underneath and then just snapping it on. So I think that's where I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to play around with these a little bit and see if I can't get them basically routed, and maybe start with this top one. So I'll be back. Okay, so I've got this hose. You can see it coming down here, routed right underneath here, coming through the middle, and then it goes right up underneath, and right there, that yellow clip, I've got it snapped onto the line. Like I said, there's an O-ring on there, and so all I need to do is just snap that clamp down and lock it. So that's how I routed that one. So that took a total of about 2 minutes. So the first one is routed and in place, and I thought maybe I'll take a zip tie and zip tie this up a little bit just to get it so that it's not rubbing on anything. There's a coolant hose down here, and I believe it's a coolant hose, and so it goes to the coolant reservoir tank. So yeah, some type of a coolant hose, coolant return or something like that. So I'll probably just zip tie this up just a little bit, because it does want to just lay on this coolant hose. Not that it's a big deal. This is high temp, high pressure hose, but I'll probably do that. So I'm going to snap that one in, and then I'm going to go down underneath and look at the routing for the one underneath. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. All I did was, if you can see here, coming down off the oil separator, I just kind of put a little loop in this thing, and I've got it snapped on, and it was real easy. I just kind of rotated the head. You can see the little blue nipple there where the hose is snapped onto it. So that's all I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just take a zip tie and see if I could just zip tie this thing up. It wants to flap around, not like it's a big deal. There's nothing in here, there's nothing around it really, nothing for it to rub on. So I'll have to think about it. Maybe I won't even do it, but I might take a zip tie and just find something. There's you know, a lot of wiring, and there's a lot of stuff going on up in here. Sorry about the neighbors cleaning up their yard all of a sudden. So I'm just gonna go ahead, get out of here now that I've got this done, and go back up to the top, probably put a couple zip ties on, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got it in. I got a little zip tie down there. I just looped it around a bracket by the intake and just kind of positioned this thing where I needed to. Came down around here, and on the front one, I don't know if you can see it, but I put a little zip tie right here on this bracket. It's off the it's off the air to the intercooler, I believe, or from the intercooler, I'm sorry. So this is the cold air side. This is just a little bracket that's on this clamp, the way these clamps are made. So probably a high pressure clamp, but I just put a piece of hose around here just to kind of keep this thing from wiggling around and keep things out of the way. But that's about all I got. Again, this is the J&L. I think it's called the 3.0 because it's supposed to be 3 ounces or something like that. It's an oil separator, and so that's all I got. That's my little install video. Thanks. I hope you guys have a great day. Everybody like and subscribe, please. Help out my channel. Thank you guys. Have a great one.